Yes, you are, Mick, indeed, indeed. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be in the cosmos. I am, alongside Carolyn Lanier Roberts, my co-host. I am Rockin' Larry Locken, and you're tuned into the Conscious Conversation Show with, of course, guess who? Carolyn and Larry. Today, we are going to talk about, have you figured out yet how you got where you're at? Do you know where you're going? Did I just botch that, Carolyn? I think I just botched that.
No
Have you
worries.
figured out? Have you figured out what brought you here?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one there. How did you go from where you were, though? How did you get to where you're at? Did you go from
Right.
point A to point B or point Z to point A? And Carolyn Lanier Roberts, all that aside, there was a marvelous thunder and lightning show last night here on the Oregon coast. The sky lit up purple and the
Awesome.
bangs were so loud. It was just
Awesome.
crazy. So, yeah, maybe that's got my brain stark raving nuts this morning. But yeah, I've got video that I'll show you later. Carolyn, how's everything going?
I am
Big.
smiling and I'm here. I'm talking to you, and I had that deep epiphany with me a minute ago, which I'm going to share with everybody. And
Yeah,
yeah, I'm grateful to be here as always.
and I'm grateful to be here with you. That big epiphany.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
want to let
so
the
I'm
rest of us
going
in
to
on it?
maybe I'll say the epiphany and then I will begin the meditation thing. Right.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So I was very angry yesterday and today, for some of today, and I'm not usually angry for long anymore. And there was like this smoldering within me, like a dragon. It was like intense. And I have a lot of fire in my chart: my rising, my sun, my Venus, and my North Node. They're all fire. So they were all lit, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I was doing my breathing, and I was feeling the gratitude as much as I could and everything. But oh my God, it was intense. And then I got this epiphany this morning, and it just hit me like
Yeah.
like a bullet. Whatever. My I had to do something at work, not major, but it's not something I really want to do often. And I held my tongue. I did it. The thing I had to
You
do, I did
did.
out of love for my client. But the little girl within me felt, this was my clarity. The little girl within me felt ignored, felt denied, could not speak her truth. And my God, she's got fire. And she was very, very angry. She felt silenced, and that's a place that I've been. It's old. It's an old story. I'm not there anymore, but it was a story I lived for years where I was silenced. You can say ultimately it was my individual choosing, but my external world significantly supported that and then fed
Mhm.
that. And you can say that for pretty much all of us, as much as you choose to connect to that. Um, and so I apologized to her, and I asked her for forgiveness this morning because I had didn't have any idea until this morning. There was just this anger, and I offer, and I'm still vetting this within myself, but I offer that the intense anger you feel within yourself might be from your child not being heard. And that anger might not just be from this moment in this day. It might be anger that's been within you that you have used to, I'm hearing twist narratives within myself, that
Mhm.
has misguided you or has derailed you. Not saying that anger is not a very significant tool. It's very significant. It's how we bring change, is that fire.
Absolutely.
However, cringe. However, the anger needs to be heard because it's a part of you that's asking to be heard, demanding to be heard. And every single
Yeah.
soul has something to say, and they have a voice, and what they have to say is very, very significant, because authenticity is unique and beautiful for every soul, and we all deserve and are worthy to walk and be and express the authenticity we are. And so um the meditation I'm going to offer today The meditation I'm going to offer today is connecting with that child within yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because I offer that's what keeps you, that's what helps you connect with joy and youth and hope and faith, is the child within you that is always reaching and expanding. And there is a child within all of us. And this is before any programming has happened from your family or anything. Anything, the way that we were born pure, that is the child I speak of. The one that doesn't have any programming, the one that trusts themselves, the one that is just grateful for every moment and just enjoys life. And the other thing I was given a minute ago before was, if you choose to visualize, and this resonates, to see your child, the inner child within you, maybe sitting on the floor playing with blocks or playing with whatever they might be playing with, something constructive I'm hearing, while we're doing this, so that they don't get bored. But this is it. Or
Yeah.
maybe holding them, that's another one. um and so, for anybody listening that this resonates with, um in this or any now, and thank you for everybody that gives me your time, because all that exists is this present moment. And so I hope that you are enjoying this and this is serving your magnificent heart. Please close your eyes. Begin to slow your breath. And if you are feeling frustration within yourself, or if anything I have said resonates, I offer for you to connect with that deeply and to give space to that within you, the child within you, the one before anything happened. For those that have had a dysfunctional childhood or traumatic childhood, for those that hadn't, the child within you. And just to give them space, to let them know that they are so welcome in this space, and to consider inviting them, if you do not already, to be present with you so much more. And just to tell them thank you. Maybe ask for their forgiveness if that feels appropriate for you. I lost you, Larry, huh?
No, I'm here, girl. I'm here. Hold on. I was taking care of a correct extracurricular thing here. Hold on a second. Let me get you back on here, girl. Hold on. Where am I? Where are you? Okay. Are you there?
I'm right here. And
Okay. That was beautiful.
just to keep breathing through, and to keep in heart that your anger, that your frustration, might just be the child within you seeking to have its voice heard and recognized and appreciated. Even if you don't, even if you don't completely agree, you have a right for that voice. And that part within you, which is you at the purest level of you, is so profoundly powerful. And that's it. Larry.
You got it. Are you okay? You okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
It
I'm
is,
good.
and when you first brought that up to me, the concept that I think that is a lot of that's our inner child hurting. That little boy, that little girl within us that never got the love that was always told. I noticed somebody had said in the chat room on YouTube that no one cares, be quiet. I was always told, well, not by my parents, but I hear it from my grandparents and their generation. The child is to be seen and not heard. I mean, why,
Right.
it's like, why in the hell would that be? Why would that ever have been I mean, who thought that that was the good MO? I mean, was that the guy who wrote the tutorial before Dr. Spock came along? As far as parenting went, I mean, seen and not heard. That's so that's just well, yeah, just be quiet, don't say anything, right? That should take care of
Right.
everything. But it hurts because you with that unresolved, you take that through life with you, right? And it pops up and it rears its ugly head in like the craziest of scenarios, right? It could take
Right.
just the right scenario, the right thing being said to you, and it just and then a lot of times you're left wondering why it is that you feel that kind of pain.
Yeah,
You're
and
wondering
it's
why it's
interesting because
bothering
I'm
you, and then you start wondering what's wrong with you, maybe because you've been conditioned that way, and
for
told,
sure
yeah,
for any for I offer for anything that's triggering anybody. It's triggering you because it's a place within you that you're not listening to within yourself.
right,
You deserve to listen to all of you, all of that, even the ones that don't make sense. And you can take or choose what you want because I'm not the one in your reality. You pick and choose that. But if you're listening, if you're giving energy and attention to this, then you're doing it for some reason. And I pray that anything that I say serves you. Because for me, all that exists is this present moment. And I hope that you are using this present moment for what will serve you, what will help you through what we're going through right now. My guides call the time that we're in, and they told me this years ago, the path of the child. And when they've shown me this, they've shown me there's the path of the child and the path of the adult. And the path of the child is basically that the child and adult walk next to each other, not the adult doesn't walk in front of the child and the adult doesn't walk behind the child. They walk next to them. However, the child leads and the
yeah,
adult is right there next to them to protect them, to support them, to be there right there with them while they lead. I get within me, this is another way to talking about being a pure heart, being an authenticity, speaking the truth that comes through you, the divine truth.
hmm,
There's a part of me, and I'm going to voice this because I can feel it, because that fire that's within me
let it go, yeah,
is
let your
super
fire
intense.
burn,
And so I know when I trigger somebody that I'm reaching a place
yeah,
within them that they are choosing not to see. And I truly, there's a part of me, and I don't connect with it often, but there's a part of me
uh-huh,
that loves that, because my point here is not to help people stay asleep. I'm here to bring through what comes through me for those that resonate, reason of the heart. And the heart, to me, as I said in another podcast, is the place of true power. And I hope that what I say supports you and brings you peace and joy. But I also will not back down from anything I say that brings you frustration, fire, anger, any of that, because all of that are triggers that bring you into the present moment and wake you up and make
mhm,
you see your own patterns. And the only way changes happen within is within you, not from me. I'm offering what I do, but I'm external from you. You're the one in your own experience. And so for me, I am grateful to trigger, and I pray that triggering is peaceful and loving and supportive. But I can trigger in the other way as well. My purpose is to bring it forward and for you to offer whatever serves you. Larry?
yeah, absolutely, I've always felt that way too, kind of, I thought, well, maybe was I too abrasive, was I too hard on my response, but I feel like, I'm kind of sent forth to do that too as well, right? Is to,
Right.
to trigger that. And I've noticed that every time it happens, it's something unresolved in them. Then that's why they have a
Right.
problem with it, right? Not that I haven't been on the other end of that too, right? I'm not saying, oh
Absolutely.
God, I mean, I'd never know, because I have,
Absolutely.
right? So, but I recognize, I think part of the thing is I recognize that that's what's going on with me when that's happening, right? I finally learned, it took into adult years quite a ways to realize that that's what was going on with me, right? That they were just
Right.
bringing something out in me that I had a problem with, and it still happens to this day. Of
Yeah.
course, nobody's perfect. So, but it's recognizing it, right? I at least feel good about the fact that I'm able to recognize that that's what's going on, right? Whereas, and then I look at some people and I'm like, man, it seems like I've had it happen with certain people, and it seems like I almost feel like those particular people should have know better It's like they should know, but I mean, they should just know. You know what I mean? It seems so unbecoming of their personalities. Sometimes I've ran into that. You
Yeah,
know,
but
yeah,
you know, the shoulds are kind of
yeah,
we're all
right.
human. We all
Well,
make
that's part of my
choices.
learning too. That's part of my learning too, is understanding that everybody has that happen, right? It doesn't matter what the hell else you're
Right,
doing at any other given time of that particular day, right? Okay, that
right,
we're all susceptible to that. So really the one had nothing to do with the other. I always just equated it one certain way. And it took really a long time to figure out that it's not that way. You know what I mean? Just because what somebody does this at this doesn't mean they're going to do that at that, right?
right,
Yeah.
right.
And
The
that's the way I've kind of always, that's the way I see it now anyway. I used to not. I used to figure because if you were one way with one thing, you're going to be another way with another. Or I mean, you're going to
giving
be
me
that. Yeah,
giving
you're going to follow a
people
script.
more grace. The what I'm being reminded of is part of the notes for today was when my guides said compassion for something, and then they immediately I heard within me a flexible container. When you have compassion in situations in different places, especially for yourself, it allows you a flexible container to be able to view things from different perspectives and to give you more illumination. And I'm hearing even traction within me for what you're
Hmm.
addressing. Um, so, when he said, "Have you figured out what brought you here yet?" And let me see, "Have you figured out what brought you here yet?" And "How did you go from what you were to now?" Those are two phrases that my guides kind of repeated within me many times again a couple days ago. And Larry and I went through this a couple days ago about have you figured out what brought you myself was that was a true foundation, not the one that you used to have. For those that have mm, made different choices and risen above and chosen different things, been in the uncomfortable space. However, there is also the reverse of that. And I was reminded today to bring that in. Those that had a truer foundation and they lost sight of it, and now they're in a false foundation. And this podcast is offered to help you slowly rebuild that foundation. Um, And so the pieces of the true foundation I offer, one of the key points of it is trust. And remember when I said this a couple of days ago, Larry, trust. I heard this clear as day. I wrote it down. Some of these things I have to write down because they're just gone if I don't. So I was given trust is a frequency.
Yeah.
Lies are a frequency too, all clearly perceptible via a pure heart. And I was just this whole
More
download about
Carolyn brilliance, kind of like the way you described
everything.
channeling through the pineal. Yeah, that was really brilliant. The way that really struck with me. But then again, a lot of things you say do, but then there's some things like that that really it's a frequency, right? I mean, we know that,
The
but
frequency.
yeah, lies and truth are a frequency, right?
Lies and truth.
In and of themselves.
And then within me many years ago, in one of my blessing picks, I had a breakdown of trust for my being. This is offered. These are like codes, is what I'm given within me. These are codes offered to break down um, assumed. I'm even hearing assumed definitions. Trust I was given is towards resonant, unwavering, seen through. And I used to think that the seeing through was the seeing through and supporting of self, being there for yourself. But the level I was given recently to seeing through is the more obvious one to me, is seeing through lies and deception, and lies in perception is what I'm hearing as well.
Hmm.
You can point to external, but for me, everything I speak of is internal. These are internal lies. These are internal. This is perception that you have. You're not seeing your truth. And trust in self is key. It's
Yeah,
vital. You And that's where Larry and I started in this conversation a couple of days ago, that
yeah.
those that are like addicts or alcoholics, or I'm sure there's other ways that this could be expressed. Those are individuals who've lost trust in themselves, and
Hmm.
I'm hearing even they can't step forward.
Big time.
Um, yeah, and it's like this rebuilding has to happen. There are certainly other experiences where this happens, where you lose trust in yourself, but It's vital.
Well,
It's like life
Carolyn,
stopped.
I had
You
brought up
gotta
something to you.
rebuild that.
Yeah, when we were talking about this, I had brought up something to you, and I was kind of we reached a point in the conversation, and I was like, and you were going on about this, and I'm like, yeah, but don't you think that
Yeah,
these people's realistic? I mean, what their thoughts regarding trust, their thoughts regarding truths are just so like out of this world. I mean, their concept of what it should be and as far as what to expect from another human being, right?
right.
I mean, just their concepts of it are just so out of this world, right? They feel like it's always something person. Their first thought is that it's
Very
something
much.
personal against them if somebody has a problem or if somebody has like maybe that truth factor is because they're embarrassed about something or because they just don't want to disappoint or because I mean a plethora of reasons before you get down to that they were sitting somewhere in a in a closed room wringing their fingers or wringing their wrists going, oh, I'm going to do everything I can just to this is all going to be to affect that other person. You know what I mean? Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
keep seeing within myself as you're talking about that, as I keep
yeah,
seeing a child in a corner of a room and they're cowering and they're curled up in their
yeah,
legs and they're like hiding from the reality. They're hiding. That's what I
sure.
keep getting. They are that's what the child within the person is doing. And
Mhm.
um I was even getting this connection just now when I was talking about the addicts and
Yeah, we
the
touched. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, but yeah,
the children, that the trust is
right.
basically where the child isn't supported anymore, isn't being
Mhm.
heard anymore. um and
Yeah.
then I'm even getting some element right now that trust is rooted in you being able to have an open conversation, an authentic conversation with the child within yourself. um and I've never gotten that before, but that makes a lot of sense to me. um
W- Well,
yeah,
not
go on,
and to
Larry.
put it in this way too, it's like we were talking. We went on to talk to. I said, Carolyn, the fact of the matter is, no addict or very rarely ever has an addict decided that they were going to go out and start using it
Right,
to pick off a family member to start oh they took that first hit or even if they went out and had a relapse, right?
right,
And that no, I don't know of any that have ever sat there and go, man, I'm going to do that to piss my spouse off, piss my
right,
parents off, piss this person off, my friends off. Man, yeah, I really did. I wouldn't do it, but I got people to piss off. So man, I'm gonna go and score I'm gonna go score a 20 sack or whatever, a crack or whatever it is it might be, or some
right.
pills or whatever the fuck it may be. Yeah, I've rarely known of anybody that has done that with that intention to go and but when the reason I bring that up like that is because people will come across like they feel like somebody did that on purpose to wrong them. How could they do this to me?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Is how could they do this to me? When it's not
it's
necessarily now, it's one thing if it was some physical thing they did to them, abuse them like that, or hit them, or if it was something. I'm not talking about that kind of shit. I'm just talking about Fred had an extra beer at the tavern the other night, or whoever somebody smoked a blunt, or to avoid a little bit of the world they have to live in with that particular person, obviously for a while. No, I'm kidding, but that usually probably that kind of coincides though if that person's having that kind of a thought anyway like that the other person knows what kind of person they are, so it's just kind of when there's no communication or the situation just not right for each other, it never ends good, right? Or I mean it doesn't
there.
without a lot of understanding.
So what I offer is and this is from the counselor part of me,
Mhm.
that all relationships, all true healthy relationships are grounded and based on trust. There
Yeah,
has to be infinite, there has to be ultimate trust, there has to be a degree of trust. With no trust, you really don't have a relationship. You have acquaintanceship, you have a
a
a
coexistence.
stranger. you have there's, and so when that happens, to
Yeah.
me, what I'm getting is there's I'm heard something like a nonverbal agreement in relationships. There's different, what is the word? I can't think of it, but they're factors, different factors of the relationship, different, I can't think of that word for some reason, but every relationship is different, right? And they
Hmm.
all are grounded into trust, and it's like, maybe the word is stipulations or something, and it's kind of a given, and it's exchange between individuals depending on the type of relationship. And it's very subjective because this person has gone through this, and and it's related to frequency as well, so the frequencies are
Hmm.
drawn together. And so this person over here, since if they are at this level of trust within themselves, or mistrust is what I'm hearing, then this person over here that is drawn to them is also at this level of mistrust within them, because it's the same
Big time.
frequency.
You just hit it. It seems, yeah, I've seen it a million. You know what? I've never described it that way, but I've seen it a million times. I mean, not
Yeah.
just me personally, a few times, like dealing with it, but I mean, I've seen this play out over and over in people I've known, and and couples, whether it's family members with each other, things of that nature. And the person in the chat room said depression isn't, mental health isn't a thing, depression isn't a thing. I've heard people, yeah, and then you might be dealing with somebody who doesn't understand the depression issue and the mental issue, health issues, and we all could use a little bit of extra mental health, now and then, and yeah, the
It
people, though, there is nothing. It's all in your head. Well, of course, it's all in your fucking head. That's your body. That's where you're radiating your thoughts from. Everything's all in your body. Everything's in your head, your body, your quantumness. I mean,
very
and it's
much.
one of those
And
one-liner cliches again. And then here comes hence the question: is, if it is in your head, well, then tell me how the fuck you get it out of my head, and don't tell me just to not think about it either. I mean, uh, gee,
well,
genius,
I
I haven't
mean,
thought of that yet.
for me, it would be about shifting the heart, going beyond the
So your
head,
heart center,
and
yeah.
going straight to the jugular
Tell them your
of the heart,
catchphrase, Carolyn. Tell them your catchphrase.
and diving straight in that place.
Mm,
I mean, my catchphrase, yes. So my mission is to be a reawakener of the conversation of the heart. And for me, this is the conversation between the sacred mind, sacred heart, in the body, vehicle, voice of the soul. And for my being, and I can only speak for who I am and what I represent, which is my ancestors and every other soul that resonates. The Sacred Heart actually is the Sacred Heart is what changes things, what pivots things in every reality, in conversation with the sacred mind. And I haven't given this analogy in a while, Larry, but I'm guided to give the
go
camera
for it.
analogy. So within
Yeah.
me, the analogy I've been given about the dynamic that I'm sharing is that of like an old-fashioned camera. And when you're looking through a camera, the camera lens itself, what you're looking at, this is the sacred mind right here, right
Right.
here, right
Carolyn's
here.
doing hand. By the way, everybody on the other platforms besides YouTube, Carolyn is great with talking with her hands, and she's showing.
You're looking at the sacred mind. Thank you, Larry.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
looking at the sacred mind. And the camera itself is the body vehicle. But what illuminates what you're looking at, and I'm hearing even determines what you're looking at, is the sacred heart in the background, the light that illuminates is that focus. And then that
Yeah.
focus shifts because the sacred heart shifts, and it pivots. And this is just, I'm just letting this flow. To me, the sacred heart is the divine, the voice, the energy that pivots things. And my experience is that you have this passion for something, and that you're diving into it and you're immersed in it, and then one day something happens and your heart shifts, and you didn't do it. It just, your heart just shifted, and you're not lit by that thing anymore, and you can't
Well,
figure it
yeah.
out, and you can't logic yourself out of that. It just has done that. You haven't done that. And so you go and you pivot what you're looking at, your passion, your intensity for something, it shifted and you didn't do it. You didn't, your mind didn't do it. Your thoughts didn't do it. It's just all of a sudden that energy isn't there and it's all shifted. And to me, I
You're
always
onto
feel like
something else. Yeah.
that's the divine, the light God pouring through saying, yeah, we are not focusing on that anymore. We're pivoting here. And the light in the background, the Sacred Heart has shifted its focus. That's what,
Yeah,
that's what
and
I'm trying.
children do it. Too. You know, children do it too. They go through, well, at least I did, go through phases of what they're into, right? And it's onto
Yeah.
something else, right? It's like that, you know, from Batman to whatever, you know. For me, anyway, I'm trying to think because I really didn't do many kid things. I grew up watching MTV. I watched it from 6 years old the first day it came on the air. You know, is when we had it. We got it the very first day. So I mean, but you know, different kinds of, whether it's even in the same realm, like it may be different kinds of music you go from liking, right? You go from
Right.
liking one genre to the next. You go, you know, and then you wonder why. Sometimes you even get a guilt trip from other people why your thoughts and your preferences might have shifted, right? Whether it's
Yeah.
because you might not resonate anymore with other people that you were involved with in that particular thing, if that, you know, if that's relevant.
Well, yeah, because when you change in any relationship, you change, the person in that relationship has to change, or yeah, that's the bottom line. They have to change. They can ignite it, can deny it, but still, if you've changed, they have to change
Yeah,
to keep up with you. And that can be upsetting if you
yeah,
didn't want to make that change, right?
yeah. It's a
Um,
hard one. Yeah, it's tough.
it
You
causes
can't.
resentment, all kinds of things. And
Yep.
it's a place where more communication is needed. Um,
And
so
some
I
a real honesty, and a real honesty like that can hurt. I mean, you know what I mean. And for the other
Yes.
person
Oh
too,
my
because
God. Yes.
they can't just on a 180 shift paradigms either, right? And you know,
You got to
flipping
let
the,
them
yeah,
process, because when I think of change, I'm thinking of little things, but you're thinking of big things. Yes, there's big things too.
yeah,
Ideally, you are communicating with that person, how you're shifting, and it depends on the relationship. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be verbal. There's just these energetic shifts, and you can feel something changing.
yeah.
Um, and this all requires that trust conversation within yourself. Um, to have adherence and to be listening to those inner shifts in the first place.
Hmm.
Definitely not easy. Definitely not easy. but
No.
vital for sure.
Well,
Um,
especially if it's something you're really not wanting to think and you're not wanting to hear, right? I mean, if it's something, oh,
right,
yeah, yeah, okay, I want, you know, right. But that's usually not the case. It's usually a new chapter that you're moving into in some form, whether small or big, right?
right.
So it's kind of just, you know, and you try to fight those signs and you try to fight it, and it usually doesn't end up working. And if it does temporarily, it makes you miserable.
I'm hearing a song in my head right now.
What? Tell me what.
Don't fight it. Don't fight it.
I
Don't fight
don't
it.
buy it. Yeah, yeah.
It'll do your heart some good. What am I? That song I'm hearing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's an '80s
I,
song,
I
guaranteed.
know that it is, and I can't think of it right now. Yeah, and I know every '80s song. I can't believe I don't know who sings it
I've
right now, but
landed
I
an
will. Yeah,
earworm.
no shit. Thanks,
So,
thanks. I mean, any you could ask me any other thing. You could ask me about Oingo Boingo, and I would have knew it, or you know, Ride the
oh, I
White
know
Horse
Oingo
by,
Boingo, right?
you know,
Um,
yeah.
and then the other one I'm going to offer. So the first part when we said, trust is okay. What is it? Have you figured out what brought you here yet? Um, what I receive, what I offer is that was about the pieces of your true foundation. What is your true foundation? And what I was given a little while ago is the pieces of that true foundation are grounded, are very in conversation with the child within you. It's a whole reconfiguring of that voice and those needs coming in the forefront, coming first, so that you are changing your reality so that that voice is heard, in whatever way is right and appropriate and expresses what needs to be expressed. Um, it makes sense, Larry?
Yeah, it does make sense. I mean, you know, it's about being in tune with your body, right? It's about listening to. I mean, that's a cliche. We talk about that all the time about listening and going within, but sometimes it really does pay to just kind of be silent and take it in, and
Very much.
use your own discernment. And there's it's certainly, but the more that you dwell on it, the more that it plants shit in your head to think about, as far as, well, what if this, what if that, then you get into the what if game, right? So yeah, it's a long process. There's no one quick answer to fix it right away or to change it right away. It's a series of steps, right? And just when you think you have the answer, the question gets changed sometimes. So
For sure.
yeah, but
Yeah.
this innerness, now you really hit home when we were talking in the pre-show about the inner child, right? As far as be it, you're hurt, something can hurt you because you didn't get enough attention from somebody, maybe growing up, or in particular, right? It could be a particular person in your life, and
Yes.
something will trigger that particular relationship deficiency
Yes,
that you felt that
absolutely.
you had. So yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
and the energies are really crazy right now, aren't they?
Oh my God, they are.
Yeah,
Baby, I'm feeling
yeah,
it. I've been feeling it. And
right. Yeah.
he's like across the house here. I can hear it drumming. Remember I told
Oh,
you he
is
was
he?
a
He's in
drummer.
there
What
playing the John Bonham, huh? He
he's drumming. What he I was never in band, but the drummer that leads the band, the drum he's that's what he did.
Well, there's more than
Um
two drummers. Oh, the guy that beats it on the side.
the
See how
one
much I
that
know
leads
about it?
it, the drum line,
The drum
somebody would
line.
know that.
Yeah,
I
give me
don't
a
know.
funky Dre, give me a funky ass bass line.
So I'm like listening to my relaxing stuff here, and I can hear him. That
He's
because even
drumming
though
in there. Yeah.
he's got his music down, but but I mean, I love it.
Do you?
So yeah, the it's like a new shift of how things will be done, and everybody's doing it. They're not all calling it the path of the child, and that's fine. You come at it any way you want, whatever works for
Yeah,
you. But it's
yeah, it's
about
kind of a term that's gotten, it kind of already turns people off right off the bat when you say that. I mean, you say the word inner child, a lot of people that are still stuck in the illusion will hear that and think it's just some, weird woohoo new age
where we're
shit.
to me it's
Yeah.
it is the inner child, but it's the true self is what I'm hearing within me as well. um the light within you, I heard that one.
That light within you, right? It's that light within you. It's
It's
learning
the
to let
light.
that light shine and learn how to use
Yeah,
it efficiently, with the
for sure.
most efficient form of batteries you can
The
get. Not the cheap kind. Make sure it's Duracell.
You're right, right. And then the other parts of that foundation, because I was coming through different things. I'm offering from my experience the part that's become vital for me is kindness.
Hmm.
I do my best to be kind to myself like all the time, because I used to be the biggest bitch to myself and say the most
Hmm.
unkind things to myself. And if you haven't done it and you want to sit down and listen to how you talk to yourself, listen and write it down. Most of us are beyond mean and cruel and
Hmm.
unkind to ourselves. And it's very
Oh yeah.
significant to change the way that you talk to yourself, because you want to talk about pissing yourself off, treat yourself that way. Um,
Yeah, it's
so
just like
kindness,
that. Yeah, it's like that. I mean, you
it
pat yourself on
really
the back
is.
once in a while.
It really is. And then I'm being reminded within me, then the external will mirror that, because it's a frequency thing, right? So
Hmm.
if you're treating yourself that way and you're unkind to yourself, then those things outside of you are going to mirror that. And so it's like, change the way that you speak to yourself. So kindness is part of that foundation. Trust in self is part of that foundation. And trust with self is, to me, like this long journey. It can, to me, that trust just gets stronger and stronger and stronger until you are at a place of sovereignty within yourself, And and it's very different. That's
Yeah,
where I am now, at this place where it's very different. It's like it's etched pillars or something is what I'm
but
hearing.
do you still feel like you have a long way to go, or how do you feel as far as
Always.
that, you
I mean,
personally
I
rather than
feel,
that?
do I trust me? Yes, of course I do. I'm standing here speaking my truth. And, but I also hold space. I hold as much
Mhm.
space as I can for change and expansion. And that said, my journey has also been one of releasing control and releasing perfectionism. And I've gotten better at that.
Yeah, you sure have actually, yeah, I must
Yeah,
say.
it's still, it's still a place where I see the pattern coming, and I offer this to anybody. You see the pattern coming, and then you're like, oh yeah, I remember that, or I know that trigger, I know that, and you back off within yourself, because
That's when you
we
know
are
you've
not
made some
patterned.
progress. Yeah, that's when you know you've made some progress, right? When you can start to
Right.
recognize that, right? When you're recognizing that, on any kind of basis, really, but if it starts happening on a frequent basis, that's a really, I mean, they throw out the line. That's a big step. That's a pretty big fucking step, really.
You see it, yeah, 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 and then you
You
and
nip
you
a lot
allow
of shit in the
yourself
bud.
the ability to pause, to be like, oh yeah, yeah, we've been there, we've done that, we know where that one goes.
We caught this
And
episode, right? Yeah.
you take a deep breath,
Hmm.
and just bring yourself into the moment and reset. you know so
Yeah.
another part of the another part of that foundation, as I said a minute ago, is compassion for yourself, which
Hmm.
allows you the flexibility um to address how you are doing with yourself. um and with everything I say, we are each a work in progress, and so you're gonna have crappy days. You're gonna have crappy days and great days. Just I offer, when you have those crappy days, do your best to be kind to yourself, which kind of allows you to have a soft starting point or restarting point, which makes all the difference. And then another part of that foundation is authenticity,
Yeah.
authenticity itself, which could also be honesty with self. Although I was getting that honesty is an aspect of authenticity, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was given that, and then
Well,
I was kind of like, I didn't stretch out into the other aspects, but there's obviously other aspects of
yeah.
authenticity. I mean, honesty,
So, yeah.
intention, probably could do a whole podcast on authenticity.
Yeah. Well, you
um,
have to bring me up to speed. Is there a whole, it sounds like you got a whole syllabus full of,
it's still coming through right now, that one, but
okay.
and then now I'm hearing it's a pillar of sovereignty. I better write that one down.
Right. Okay.
Um, yeah, hold on, I'm writing that one down.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just getting that right now. All right, and then there were other elements of the foundation, the true foundation, and generally, to me, these are going to be the same within all of us, but certainly, everybody's in their own experience, and so you know, true foundation is up to you. But I
Hmm.
mean, another element would be like respect, reverence, um, joy, um, humility, all of those. Um, Now, the next one was, how did you go from what you were to now? Or Larry, you put, how did you go from what you were to what you are to what you are? And when I reread that, when I was thinking about that, I'm like, okay, that's about the process. And I got clearly, it's not your journey. Your journey is beyond valid, but it's not your journey,
Right.
it's the process. And so when I was getting, that's the process, I was getting, it's less about, and forgive me for anybody who doesn't resonate with this, but it's not your story, it's not the things that you've gone through. Those are highly honored, those are part of who you are, and they always will be. But you are not those things you've gone through. You are, way beyond those. You are the creator of those. You are, you learn from those and they expanded you, but you were already light before those and you are light now.
Those
And
are just
so
experiences, right, that you chose to go through to
to,
make you a more well-rounded soul, right? Just to, yeah, basically, well, to
right.
experience, right, to learn, either to, yeah, to figure out something, there's all kinds of different reasons, but it was something ultimately that you chose to go through to, help with whatever cause that you're on, which could be varying things,
Yes, right, right. And it was like, and but I kept getting, because my mind was like, oh, that's the journey. But I kept getting within me,
Yeah.
no, not the journey, not the journey, because you can
That's
get
where I
lost
got a
in
little
the
hung up.
journey.
Yeah, that's where I got a little confused and was going back and forth with that on my mind when you brought up the topic. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, and then I got thinking about past lives and about extraterrestrials and
all kind.
just
Yeah.
right it all went all over the place in my mind. I'm like, "Fuck, well, okay. Yeah,
So remember when I told you and when I got it, and then I heard it's the process. What's your
yeah,
process? And when I got that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Not my process, your
yeah,
process. What is your process that you know that brings you from this place of, I'm hearing this battle, this terror, this challenge, this horrible event, to what brought you here now? Not your journey, not the other stuff, not, maybe I'm getting, not the external, but the internal process that you chose for yourself, that either first maybe unconsciously and then consciously, that brought you
yeah,
here. And one of the things I got was for myself, and but I offer this for others, is that I have learned how to move from seriousness to lightness, because I used to be so serious, and it would
yeah, big
bring
time.
me down. I would be, it would make me,
Very
it would be
methodical.
heavy. Yeah, well, it's still there to an extent, but it would be
Right.
heavy, and it would be like this place I would go, and then you'd look at me and you'd be like, "Hey, do you ever smile?" And the seriousness is important, but the one that makes you grateful for the moment is not the seriousness. It's the joy, it's the lightness of play and gratitude and openness in this moment. Um, Larry,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. It's a process. It's a process, and it was really. It seems like such a simple, straightforward topic, right? But there's so many different ways you can go with it.
right,
There's so many factors that come in, and it's hard for me to nail it down as to how I got to where I am. You can go by life experiences. You can go by thinking of maybe traumas that you've had in other realms or other lifetimes, but everything is a learning process along the way, right? I think that that's no big Sigmund Freud type of a, thing to come up with on my part, but it is, everything's a process that you go through. And so
right.
you get to where you are because of where you've been and what you did while you were there, I suppose. Right, but that does determine it, right? That's not the lesson necessarily, but it does determine it.
Right. Yeah, it's like I'm hearing cause and effect, although
Yeah,
there's always free will. And
right,
so
but
where there might
yeah,
be
there's that
cause and
too.
effect,
There's free will that brings in that comes into
free
that,
will.
right? And part of living in a free will galaxy is, or a system, is that you have these other factors that play into it, right? You There are things that you can't completely control, although you can control it enough to, I guess, alter and navigate your way through. Like, I mean, there's always another person that might be in your life or messing with you. I don't think Jason's in the chat room now, but
I know.
he used to talk about the free will thing, and that that's one of the problems with free will. But living in a free will means that other people have that right to try to impose theirs upon to you.
That's a very
Right.
good
So I
point.
guess part of the lesson that could come from that too is that you learn how to stay in your own truth, in your own power, no matter any now situation that you're in. You learn how to do that better, right? And you've got a basic foundation for what you do in a situation where you feel like that's you've got somebody else fucking with your flow, for lack of a better term
For
to put
sure.
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you say that, my first thought is discernment, that you learn discernment. But as I said in other podcasts, discernment is a process learned through, to me, through the heart being pierced, through
Yeah.
illusion being stripped, and through shifting to the heart, um, and realizing that you're not going to get those answers up in your mind. You're going to have to feel. You're going to have to feel, and you're going to have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
um, move through that energy and those emotions, those part of being human, those horrible, those heavy ones, those heavy emotions, and you're going to have to see where
You'll
your
hit a
truth
wall
is.
at some point. What I'm getting right now, too, what I'm getting is that
Yeah,
you'll hit, of course, you hit a wall when you're just going at it from your mind perspective, from that,
you
you know,
will. Yeah, you
yeah,
keep
from
going
that
in
computer
circles.
instead of instead of your own personal Schumann resonance radio station, you're going through you're going through your computer up there, your hardware, and you can
Right,
only get with without the proper input, and that's found within your heart. Everything is found within that heart, right? Your
right.
cosmic record, your heart library, as you call it. I love ripping off your catchphrases too, even though I love my own. Um, you know what I mean? You have all that within you down there. You only have so much up in that space, right? And you can only get so far with it,
You can
right? Just like
you
yeah,
can only get so far. And I need to write this phrase down. The yogis say something about the longest journey. It's the journey from the mind to the heart. It's like what, 6 inches
yeah,
or whatever they say,
absolutely.
because it's a profound transformation, and it's
Again, though, but put out there again, like I've seen that on memes and stuff before. But again, you see that, and we're coming to an age now where we're starting to get full of the feeling in that. And before there's another one of them catchphrases, right? That just gets thrown out of there, like we're
that's
all
sure.
one, like the
I
golden
love that
rule,
full feeling. Absolutely.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's and the yeah, the truth for every soul. And I was just getting it very clearly. And I've said this other podcast, and I talk about, there is no soul on earth that isn't doing heavy lifting right now. I was also
no,
getting the clarity of that, which is that every soul on earth, either this now, or they've gone through it this lifetime, or they're going through it, um, has or is having their heart pierced, having their bubble burst, is what I'm hearing right now within me.
hmm
And their illusions, their self illusions, are stripped, and it's an extremely painful place. That is the dark night of the soul, the very first one. Yeah, it's yes.
Do you think a lot of people? Okay, do you think people are that dark night of the soul, which we've all been through?
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of people go? This is probably going to sound like a stupid question, but do you think a lot of people are going through that and not realizing that that's what the hell it is? I mean, because it's one thing. Like, I think pretty much you and I had been in the, in that old school New Agers in the New Age game a while. So like when we went through some of them, we've known
Yeah.
exactly what the fuck it was we were doing. You talk to other people, they've gone through it at the time, or a dark night of the
Right,
soul.
right, right,
So they know what the fuck it is, but there's a lot of people probably going through one, right? When you think, especially in this time we're
right,
in now, that don't I
right.
mean, they don't call it. They don't know anything about energy shifts. They don't know anything about what little they may have heard about it. They think it's mumbo jumbo, and that it's whoever, right? Somebody named Miss Cleo from 30 years ago with a do rag around her head and looking at a crystal ball or some shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or whoever. I'm not picking on her, but you know what I mean? The stereotypical thing. They think of that. They don't really think about these energies really and how they really do affect the planet. They affect
Tremendously.
the collective. They affect the individual shifts that go on, right? And then sometimes when you get crazy, really crazy shifts, you've got a big ass collective one going on. And you've always got people on individual shifts going on, of course, too. But then sometimes you'll have a whole shitload of them that just happen to be going on at once. Plus, we've got a collective planetary type shift going on, whether
Right.
it's celestial, something celestial, like a blood moon, or whether it's
Big.
bunch of CMAs and shit or something, or CMEs hitting the earth, right? Different things like that, right? All these things play in and tie in,
Yes.
Okay, but they've
There.
been made out to sound like mumbo jumbo because nobody one, yeah, it was kind of twofold. One, nobody really wanted to look into it to see. Two, you had a lot of people doing it kind of half-ass, and then some of the others that were sincere about it, there just wasn't. I mean, before like social media and shit like that, the option, your whole world happened within your whole world. What I mean by that is what your physical realm of who you lived around, who you dealt with in the city you might have lived in, right? For the most part, that was your whole world.
Yes.
Yeah, and now there's so many options now, but
Good
because of
point.
how it was then the stereotypes, sometimes those stereotypes are hard to break down, even though that's not really the way shit has been done for a long time. And even when it was, there was a little bit more to it than than what people are giving it credit for as far as what how it really was, right?
Yes. It's the truth. You're the mirrors, the to be able to see the connection, the connectivity is wonderful, but it
Yeah,
also and it helps you feel supported. You're not alone, but you also can get pulled into things as well.
big
Um,
time.
I was being reminded when you were talking a little while ago about, when we were talking about the dark night of the soul, and I was thinking of an individual, and I immediately got pointed to like these events that happen, like the floods and all this stuff that are
Hmm.
that strip away things from individuals. Um,
Yeah, tragedy.
Ideally to help them see, to help them strip away illusions they might have, to help them empower themselves. But
It's a hard pill to
that's
swallow at the time, though.
that's a soul, that's individual, how they choose to handle it. But I was getting within me just now about natural disasters and how those are like collective dark nights of the soul, about ultimately, and people take or choose what you want. This is
Hmm.
just what I'm given. um that they are bringing people into a higher frequency of connection once they process the event within themselves, and how they're affected by it, and then move to the place of what can I do, what you know what can I do to change that, or what can I do, what thing can I change in my reality to make a difference, or any one of those that somebody takes personally, that they choose to make those shifts within themselves, would
Yeah,
also begin that same shift of everything we go through when you're moving onto the path of I'm hearing authenticity, sovereignty, any one of those words.
yeah.
uh
Well, yeah, they're all relevant, right, in this whole process.
yeah, yeah. And then, we said a lot of things. I mean, the other things I would add to the process, beyond moving from seriousness to lightness, are listening to yourself, um, giving validity to yourself, and being honest, really
Hmm.
bluntly honest.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt.
So,
You know what I mean? It couldn't hurt. I mean, yeah, it's worth, if somebody out there who's in despair, it's worth giving these things a try. You know what I mean? Now, now, of course, I sound like I'm trying to sell something on a late night infomercial from the 90s. I mean, really, though, it's true. Y-
yeah, it's and then the biggest thing I'm finding, and I've seen it other places, but I had already felt it within myself, in the intensity of these energies right now. It's really easy to move and to do and to get caught up in the energy of, but the one that brings you
Yeah,
into a place of like stability, to be able to take a breath and to see around, is the place of stillness as much as you can, to be still, and to be silent as much as you can, to see how you are, and I'm getting to feel the
and-
energies external from
right.
you, and to
Helping to
see how much
redirect too. Yeah.
it's big. It gives you like this huge perspective. And the thing I was going to mention earlier in the podcast, Larry, is one of the awesome YouTubers I mentioned earlier before this podcast is he was guided to do
Oh,
a
there goes.
digital
Whoa.
detox
You
for
left for a
24
minute.
hours.
You left for a minute for a
So
second.
okay, I'm here. He
A
was
split
guided to
second.
do a
Yeah.
digital detox for 24 hours. And I'm going to
A
do
good.
that. I'm going to do it Sunday, the day I can do it, but I'm going to do it
Oh,
Sunday
all the
because
messaging Carolyn, and writing her a big long fucking story. Like people who know me know I do.
the digital
Dude,
detox.
7 o'clock at night. How you gonna go 24? Are you gonna go really? You gonna go at 24 without having any digital on? Seriously, what about the television? You and Babe's gonna watch some TV though.
I might watch TV, but I won't be on my
But
phone.
but okay, okay. I get what you're saying. You're
That'll
nothing
be
like
big,
that. Nothing
and
digital.
I know I've got a speech. I've got to continue writing for the morning, that group I'm in. I got to write
Yeah,
that speech. But yeah, he
the
was
Salem Bedford Wives or something, right? The
wrestling.
dream.
I'm gonna give him a plug. Wrestling around on
Wrestling
YouTube.
around.
Wrestling around, and I like that. When he said that, he's got something, and I felt it when he said it too. He's going to do a digital
Yeah.
detox, because in the place of the digital detox, you can connect with what is your own divine truth in that
How
place of
long?
the digital detox.
How long does he recommend? How long does Russ? Long does the Rust man recommend doing that for the digital
24 hours,
detox? Just a
just 24
24
hours.
hour one too.
Yeah,
Okay.
he
Yeah,
said
I
he
mean
did
that'd
it
be the best
24
way to
hours,
start,
and it
of
was
course.
really powerful. It was really,
Yeah,
really powerful.
it's
Um,
it's rough. It could be rough though. What are you gonna do? I mean, are you gonna have a Coleman lantern and all that good shit with you? You gonna really go all out with this, or what's gonna be the?
I can do a digital detox.
Yeah,
No, I'm good. I mean, there's even solitary games I started to play on my phone, and I asked my guides about it, and they were like, "We are okay if you want to play the solitary games,
okay,
because then
yeah.
I'm not in a place of social media,
No,
and I'm
don't.
not in a place of, they were like, it calms your mind, it centers your mind. We're
What, to
good
be
with
on
that.
social media?
Yeah, I'm going to be off. I'm even going
Oh,
to put it,
awesome. Yeah, it doesn't calm you down to get on there and see somebody send you a bunch of shit, or did you know that this happened and whenever, something you read 10 years ago in your growth path, right? But then they want to send you 50 links on it. Is that the
well,
one?
I think
You know?
that, because I hear you, Larry. No, I'm listening. Yes, the thing that you become aware of, and I can't speak for others, but I know I'm very sensitive, and even if I don't give much attention to something or energy to something, it doesn't mean that
Yeah,
it may not come into my field. It may not
right.
be, and
Fair enough.
that's important. It's important that we become, um, ultimately, I offer the goal is to be sovereign, and
Yeah.
in your own
Each
personal
soul individual,
reality,
right? Each soul. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Totally.
So that you are, yeah, well, the my goal is to be a walking meditation of peace.
A walking meditation of peace. I love it. You come out, you're saying the greatest things. Like you say the greatest things, Carolyn, lately. Yeah.
it
Yeah. Yeah. You want to
That
explain
was
the
a goal.
Carolyn thing again?
That was a goal I had years ago, and the
Yeah.
really profound thing is that I was on YouTube watching something, and somebody said, "Hey, this looks like you want to be, maybe it was tarot or something." And I was like, "Whoa," because it was
Yeah.
something that
What?
came through me like 10 years ago, and
Yeah.
it's still one of my intents, and if it resonates with anybody else, it's yours too if you choose.
What, to be a tarot
Um,
reader?
yeah, it's maybe I just heard it, and I hadn't
Yeah.
heard it. I mean, it's very powerful when one of
It
those
was in
internal
another lifetime. Yeah.
it's when one of those internal conversations within you is mirrored externally, and nobody's heard it, right? It's just you and God, and there it is external, and you're
Yeah.
like,
It's
well,
big. Those are pretty
whoa,
profound, right? Because there's
that's
nothing else nobody else could have been key to or privy to that, right?
right.
And
It's
it,
a
yeah.
synchronicity is what I'm getting, and I'm like, whoa, whoa. Um, yeah, Larry, I mean, to me, the energy is starting to like wrap up. Are you feeling it wrap? I'm feeling
Yeah,
it wrap.
totally, totally, totally. I think so too. I think today was really the energy's been really crazy. And like I said, I could feel it coming on. last night, or it was actually yesterday, or was it the day before? Remember, we were talking about this before the show. I'm like, I couldn't figure out. You couldn't either because I said, remember,
What is
Carolyn said to
time?
me,
Right.
yeah, you didn't know whether it was yesterday or the day before either, right? You hadn't, and I was like, okay, well, I, was it? Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Was it here, there? Was it everywhere? Was it anywhere?
I forgot to mention something
Go
very
for it.
significant.
Anything. Tell us.
No, it's the reason why, and ultimately I feel like this podcast is very significant of have you figured out what brought you here? Like really a personal journey, a personal
Data? No, I'm
assessment,
kidding.
not journey, personal assessment of what brought you here, pieces of your true foundation, what wasn't a solid foundation within you, and what you have built or are rebuilding now. And then the next one was, how did you go from what you were to now to here? And that's
Mhm.
basically your process. And for you to know, understand, and trust and align to be able to share your process as you resonate, because you might have done something unique, or you might be doing something unique that works for you, and you never know if it might serve another. And the reason why these came through me that I offered to you, Larry, was because we are days away from the 999
Mhm.
portal. Yeah, what is it? Is an eclipse, solar eclipse, I think lunar eclipse. Shoot, this part I can't
The
remember,
blood moon.
but
Yeah, I mean, 7th and 8th and then 9th, it's right there, right?
it's completion. Nines are completion, and a
Yeah.
999. So
I'll bring it home,
uh
baby. Make it soon.
September 9th, 2025, 20, 999. Very, very, very powerful. And this one is
Yeah.
I'm you and I are feeling these energies. I've been feeling them since
Terribly
yesterday, and the
bad.
9th
Yeah,
was on
yeah. It's
Tuesday.
crazy. It's weird.
So not everybody will
Weird.
resonate with this, but just what I get within me is, despite your resonation or not, every single soul is affected by this.
Yeah, they're trying to
You
get me
know,
to quit smoking. My higher self is saying quit smoking. I'm fighting it all the way. No way. I'm like, no way, dude. These things are fucking awesome.
okay, so I'm going to tell you this, Larry. This was my
Oh no,
experience. I didn't, I haven't smoked this lifetime, but this was my experience. Okay, so
that's what I'm afraid of.
uh, years ago, I volunteered for about 6 years, and I've told you about this nonprofit called Vet Trip. They're awesome. Anybody want to look them up? Look
Yeah,
them up.
yeah.
Here in
They are.
San
They are.
Antonio, VETTRIIP.org. So
Hmm.
they are a nonprofit, completely nonprofit,
Yeah.
that supports vets and their spouses, and they help them move from pain levels of, like, well, a vet, if anybody knows vets are walking around with pain levels that they'll say they're at a 5 or 6, when in reality they're at like 11, 12,
Yeah, they're
13.
dying. It's like, man, they're hurting like hell.
They're
Totally.
very,
Yeah,
very
long
high.
term. And yeah, it's
And I
body and
work
psychological. They're damaged. A lot of them, especially the ones back when I was growing up that came out of Nam and shit.
right. And
Yeah,
so
right.
this organization has been around for probably 20 years now, and they are amazing. And they're recognized
They,
by
yeah,
the Army, by the
they are. I
military.
looked into them that day. You talked about them. You'd mentioned to me for a few times before, and I'm
So
very pro
yeah,
military, pro veteran. I mean, I'm anti military and pro military. I'm weird. you know what I mean? I'm very pro.
no, I'm the
Yeah,
same. The
yeah.
military is one thing, and the individuals in it are something else.
Mhm.
So
There you go. Perfect.
yeah, so Vet Trip, basically, I'm trying to think what I was going to say because it was just right there. What was it? Um,
Be
we
all
would
you can
do
do.
we would do energetic work on the vets. We would do Reiki, Qigong.
Oh,
There
great.
would
Yep.
be all alternative means, chiropractic. I know this is not.
Meditation,
I know I'm not getting all this acupuncture. All of these, and
kinesiology,
the success rate up in the 90s. You
telekinesis.
know, validated by these vets. Why did I bring this up? It was like right there, the
I don't know.
999
Maybe was there
completion.
telekinesis and kinesiology going on too? Did you have all those ologies?
Well, I can
No.
tell you it was profound, because you're talking
Yeah.
about, and we did it in churches too, not the churches, because
Really.
they were looking for a space to volunteer.
Well, sure.
And
Absolutely. Perfect.
and
Yeah.
so it was in a church,
Or that or
not
gymnasium.
anything religious, just the space that was donated was in a church.
Yeah.
And I don't, why was I telling you guys this? It was amazing.
I don't know. We
Um,
went from wrapping the show up to kinesiology. I don't know.
to the,
That's doing
hold on.
kinesiology, ladies and gentlemen.
It was
Filmed at
something about
11.
the completion. So we are
Yeah.
at the 999, the completion
Yeah.
now. And this is about you understanding it for those that resonate, those have gone through their journeys. I'm going to say that word, journey. You know, and you're at some point in it, and you have to figure out if you're in the middle of it or you're just beginning it and you're facing new challenges is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
This is offered for
Well,
you to
they'll
pick
always be
apart
there.
these processes, you know, and pick apart the true foundation for what works for you. But ultimately, this is something at the others. I'm hearing the other side
The
that
other break on
is
through to that other side.
a
Or
profound tool. It's a profound tool, and it's offered because every soul is going to have their own list of stuff, but they're going to overlap. A lot of them are going to overlap with everything you and I have shared.
right.
But I'm still trying to figure out why that was there because it was so strong, and I should have written down what they said. Damn it.
Yeah. Why the hell didn't you? God damn it, Carolyn Lanier Roberts.
That's so weird. That's the energy I usually don't forget.
I
Let me
know
think.
she doesn't. She's methodical. She don't miss a fucking beat. Sometimes, unfortunately, but I love her to death. Yeah, it's yeah. You look like you're in a. Yeah, I've never seen you look like you have a blank look on your face. I've never seen that out of you.
I'm
You look like
reviewing
you're.
within me. I'm like, why did you guys
Yeah,
bring this up?
yeah.
I can
I
tell
gotta
you
look at
that was
you.
part of I went through some of my healing in that space, connecting with other healers, and that was profound. That's a place I volunteered. Why did you bring that? Yeah. So there
You're
you go.
having an
That's about.
Alicia Silverstone moment. Are you clueless? And
That's so
yeah,
weird,
yeah.
Larry. I never do that. That's the energy. That's this energy. So but what I get is this portal that we're in, that we're this the eclipse. It's an eclipse portal between the 9th and the 20 something of this month. There's a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse, or a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse. I know
Yeah,
people watching will know it.
if
This is very
somebody will
intense.
message in with it. So one of the fine folks out there in internet land will
They'll know. They'll know crystal clear.
they'll know. I
They'll
bet they
know
will.
crystal clear.
First person that knows gets a free high five from Carolyn or a fist bump if you meet her in real life.
So yeah, whatever that was is
This is the
that's
first. I've never seen you. You look like you did lose your train of thought for a second, though.
weird, huh? Oh
Not
well.
very though, but considering the time right now that we're in, and of course, I mean, then you're gonna have the 10-10 and the 11-11, which I wish it was another year later because I have on tape my dad and I walking our 4 dogs that we each had at the time on the day before 11-11-11. 2011, and you can hear me on there. I go, and it's the day before 11-11-11, 11-11-11.
Wow.
I said it like 5 times. I've got it. It's on YouTube, but it's the day before, so it'll be the 15-year anniversary of it next year.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I know. I wish it were this year because 14, whatever.
Pretty
But 15
cool.
is actually, yeah. Not that numbers mean anything. They just, control our lives, and we get caught in a perpetual cycle, and nothing ever gets solved at the end of that. I mean, nobody ever works and nothing ever gets done. I mean, but
It's
maybe.
cool. I
Is
think
it
it's
cool though? It is. It's
and
totally
these
groovy, girl.
and these markers are significant for all of us, but of course that's your personal choosing if they are or not, but they are affecting us. These energies are
But
definitely
yeah,
affecting
no
us.
shit. I mean, really, they
And
are. I mean,
yeah, and it is being seen slowly how much they're affecting us. Um, and it's coming. That's
do
all
you
I'm
think
getting.
we'll see a day? I mean, of course we will, but sooner rather than later, science is going to start considering these things, these effects. You know what I mean? I mean, these energies, obviously. Do you think it'll ever just be I mean, I'm sure in more advanced human civilizations, this shit is already just documented, and that's just what it
Of
is,
course,
right? That's just it
of course.
plays into it, right? It's more of a quantum. vast variety instead of just a fucking, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It's like how the game of football is evolved. Not to bring a sport up like that, but 3 yards in a cloud of dust versus throwing that fucker down the field and airing it out. You know what I mean? But we advance. It's funny how we advance in everything we advance and we move forward, right?
Yes.
I mean, for anybody that is out there, football was a boring fucking game. It still is. I don't like it anymore. But hey, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. All they did is run the ball, and it took a while before they figured out to throw the motherfucker up more, down the field. I was always that way. God, why don't you air it out? And they wouldn't take a chance. But people get stuck in their own paradigm. It's just like a classroom structure, like we talked about. Everything is little boxes, right? And they all, whatever the song says, all go to university and do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and Carolyn's eyes are about ready to cross. This is how she is about 8 o'clock at night, her time, and I'm going off on her and about something, and she's like,
I'm here. I'm
I,
aware of a lot of energies pulling on me
yeah,
right now is what I'm feeling. And I'm also feeling that maybe wrap it up.
maybe. Let's do it. So, hey, Carolyn Lanier Roberts in San Antonio, Texas. Where in the wonderful world of social media can they find you? And yeah, it's not many places. So, girl, you ain't gotta lean on me for help there.
We'll give it.
Need it.
Yeah. The thing I'm being reminded is that I'm getting you and I step forward on Friday, September 5th, right before or
You
right
mean
at
the
the
12th?
beginning of the energy, and that's a big deal that
You
we
mean the 12th, Carolyn? The 12th, not the 5th.
no, today's the 5th,
Yeah.
September 5th.
Oh, today. I thought you were talking about next week's show. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
that we step forward today
Right.
before the beginning of that portal, and
Okay.
we brought fairly coherent podcast through.
Oh,
You
I
know,
wouldn't. I don't know, man. This will be for the blooper reel.
yeah, well, we'll see, huh? But
Yeah.
so I'm
I'm
just
so sorry, people.
we did our best. I hope
Yeah,
it served. I pray
we
it
did
served.
though. I mean, yeah, but I'm sorry. I didn't come on here and intentionally want to, ruin anybody's day, or not ruin their day, but bore them to fucking tears, and they can think they're listening to a Mexican radio or something, as the song said. Not to pick on,
Now I'm hearing that song in my head, Larry.
I'm on a
Okay.
Mexican radio.
So
Radio.
radio. Okay, so
There you go.
I'm gonna bring through. I'm gonna say what I say at every podcast, but because I just feel this is so significant. Larry and I channel. Everybody channels. Every soul on earth channels, either consciously or unconsciously. Channeling is basically, we have a pineal gland, which is a master gland in the middle of our brain, in the middle of our head, and there are energy impulses. I'm hearing something else, but I'm not able to articulate that other thing I'm hearing. Energy something, but it's coming through energy signatures. And our brain interprets
Yeah.
those impulses and those energetic signatures. And I'm getting those are connected to different
And the
races,
beaming. Yeah.
different cosmic races. I can't
Star
think of that
races,
word.
different star races, different
Star
beings.
races,
Yeah.
yes. And so we interpret that, our brain interprets that, and I'm getting our DNA as part of this conversation as well, obviously now.
This will have to be a whole
And
show, but go ahead. Yeah.
so we interpret that, and then we hear it. You say we hear it, but we really don't hear it.
No,
We are interpreting it, and we receive it, and that's how we channel. And channeling, basically, somebody that writes channels.
yeah, Mark Twain talked
Somebody
about it.
that
Eric Von Daniken talks about it. Yeah.
everybody channels.
Right.
So I bring that every podcast because he channels, I channel, and throughout the podcast, sometimes when the other speaking, we're getting more information, getting more downloads is what I'm hearing to provide to this podcast. I feel compelled to say this because I know there's other podcasts that do this, but I don't know how much they talk about it, because yes, this is real. Every single soul channels. It's just a matter of bringing it into the forefront and saying,
Yeah.
yes, it happens. No, it's not woo. It's part of existence. And
Yeah.
as we move into a more pure conversation with the universe and our hearts, we will connect with the fact that it's like breathing. It's like a handshake. It's not anything big, nothing. That's all it
No,
is.
Yeah, that's all it is. Carolyn's guides taught her and them directly communicate right back and forth as a two-way conversation. Mine and I, the 30 I have, we have in the past, and we did for the longest time. But I'm at a point now with them all where I just, well, if I have a question from somebody else to ask them, I will. But I just let them go. We like share the same stage, and when they need to come on and give a message, they just use me as a vehicle and put it through, and
There you
that's it.
go.
And then they exit stage left. Whereas Carolyn's got more of a direct one-on-one, but Carolyn's does it in such a smooth way that it's not like she's talking to that guy in the grocery line that's talking to somebody that's not there, or Jane Roberts waving her hands in the air, freaking out, channeling, oh God, oh, yeah, like
Right.
that. Carolyn's doing a little dance
Right.
right now. Yeah, but Carolyn's is a quick exchange with them, right back and forth, quick, 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 clap.
Right.
There it is.
It's quick.
So
It's quick.
it's
So
different.
it's different. Yeah. And like I said, everybody does it. They're just either conscious of it or not conscious of it. So I'm Carolyn Lanier Roberts, and on Facebook, I'm Carolyn Lanier Roberts. That's my personal page. Everything shared on there is public. Everything is public on there. My mission business page is Allowing the Light on Facebook, and that's where you
Mhm,
can find me if you choose to check out my business, my mission business, which is Allowing the Light. And
mhm.
I offer soul sessions where I work with the conversation of the heart, and I help you, I aid you in connecting with um, the Akash within me. That's called the Library of the Heart, because my main concern in talking to you and connecting with you is not what you were. That's like window dressing, is what I'm hearing. It's more of how you felt and your emotions that you experienced in that lifetime, because those are stamps of energy that and energy transcends time, and they affect you in that now, and they affect you in
Yeah.
this now. And
Is
so
that what you would tell a client if they came right out and said, Carolyn, I'm being dead serious here. If they said I was Cleopatra, or I was Julius Caesar, fucking Lawrence of Arabia, not Joe the mailman down the fucking street in my former life.
my thoughts would be,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, what does that mean to you? Just like I
Joe the
told
bar.
you, Larry,
Mhm.
that I've had soul sessions with clients where um they I just open up, and what comes through. And like one, she
Yeah.
was very connected to, or maybe is, because to me, the past is not there, and the present is, or the future isn't there. It's all present moment,
Yes, ma'am.
parallel realities.
Right.
Is that, she was connected to Cali. And then the other one I told you was, and there are many, but connected to Attila the Hun. That was a long
Right.
conversation, that one.
No,
But
fuck.
it basically stamps, and it's basically this heaviness and energy that we carry through, and all of it's being cleared, because it's all coming up, and it's presented in different ways, because um, everything is moving forward. Everything
Yeah.
is moving forward.
It can't
So
be stopped. So yeah, but no, it can't.
and it's interesting, because the energy, it's like I'm getting this information, and then it's like it comes and then it leaves. The energy, the channel is
Yo-yo
it's
kind of
moving
spiraling
moving
yo-yo.
differently right now. So, and Instagram, I am on Instagram. I am Allowing the Light, and there is it called a
There's an
hyphen?
underscore between allowing
Underscore.
and then between the and light. I got your back, girl. There's an underscore
Does it
between, yeah.
Allowing underscore the underscore light, and Instagram. So my Instagram page and my personal Facebook page, I'm very current on. I'm on that thing almost every day. I have two YouTube channels, which not so current on, but they're still very relevant videos. One is Allowing the Light, and that is my most current. And then the old one is Carolyn Lanier Roberts.
Yeah,
Both of them, for any souls that are drawn to me as a reawakener of the conversation of the heart. All the videos on both of those channels are very relevant and timeless. Um,
absolutely, absolutely. Quick to the point, no faking.
Yeah, and then the
Courtesy
last thing
process.
is my Etsy store. On my Etsy store, I offer my late language infused blessing pics, which my blessing pics are my photography that are light language infused, and they are images brought
They're,
through.
Quantum
my
learning.
heart, from my ancestors, here for anybody called to them, and they are blank cards. There's also whole channels for many of them. I'm working on the next step with that. In these energies, it's kind of touch and go right now, but
Very nice.
what else? And then I have joy doodles, which are my doodles that come through me when the inner child is
Yeah, and you keep getting
speaking.
better at them.
She has a lot to say. Is that it? Let me think.
No,
Um,
not really. You go. Yeah, you got it.
what am I getting? What else? What else is there? Isn't that
Okay, so
everything,
check it
Larry?
out. So you're on. You got the 2 YouTube channels down. You're on. Yeah, I know it's funny. You're not on a lot of places, really, comparatively. I mean, you don't want to hear mine. We'll be here another hour.
Yes, and I'm
You're
listening, and he wants to get me on TikTok, and
Yeah, I was gonna
it is
say,
on
Doug, you
messages.
had to bring it up. Yeah, we got to start this campaign. Get Carolyn on TikTok. Her and I, we're like a Coke and Pepsi rivalry going on here. I mean, I'm a TikTok. We I do them both, but I'm a TikTok guy. Carolyn's an Instagram girl, as far as those two go, because they're similar, right? Facebook still, is the all around best game in town. Not what your motherfucking opinion is, but for everything in general that you would need, it is. But
Right.
that's right. But yeah, get Carolyn on TikTok. We're gonna get people. Get your signs out. Get the phone book out after this broadcast. I don't care. Get in there. Call Betty. Call Bob. Call Lou. Call Tom. Call Rob. Call Steve. Call Mark. Call Stephanie. Call Evelyn.
Woo, oh,
Call
woo.
Gladys. Call them all. Now hurry up, you idiots, and get on the phone and call. Yeah, Carolyn needs to be on there. Yeah, but really, these energies are crazy. I
Thank you,
would
Larry.
advise everybody to just take a deep breath once in a while, right? Take a nice deep breath, and you got to say what the hell.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just gotta. I seen a good movie when I was a kid. It had Tom Cruise in it. The dad said, "Sometimes you just gotta say what." Joel, sometimes you just gotta say what the heck. Well, the dad said heck, but another wise man told it to him, and said what the
What's
what
up? What the? You know what I'm saying? What the
what the
fuck? Yeah, what the? What the?
yeah what.
I remember that one. Yeah.
So that's where you can find Carolyn. She Instagram, and she's got on Facebook, of course, Carolyn Lanier Roberts. It's an open, she's an open channel there. And she's also got allowing the light on Facebook. So allowing the light, she allows that motherfucking light at every chance she gets. She allows that a light to come through, and it
Thank
does.
you,
So
Larry.
I'm going to be real quick so we can get out of here. Look, we could be here all day, but you can find me in one spot with everything I've ever done. It's a page on Facebook called Rockin' Larry Locken Social Media Outlets. Okay, now it's spelled Rocken because Locken, Locken is my last name, so I thought that was witty. There's no I in. If you put an I in there, it won't work. Well, it might. But you can find out everything I've done, and if you like the page, you're not going to get a lot of notifications from it because I don't put anything on there. Okay, the only thing on there is if say I started a new show that was going to go on all the time. Well, then that would go on there, right, or something new. But man, I'm tapped out with shit I've done. I've got 1,000 groups, 1,000 pages, those 5 YouTube channels in case I ever inherit, leave them in my will to somebody. But yeah, Rockin' Larry Locken social media outlets. Okay, go there, and I'm on every social media fucking thing you can think of. Okay, and it's always Larry Locken channel. Yeah, sometimes I have alternate names with it, like Palladian Blue Sky Orbs and the Lemonadian Palladian. But at the same time, it's still the Larry Locken channel, right? Is the surname to it. So that's it. It's it. That's that. Yeah, we bring it. Yeah, turn it up, turn it off, bring it in and pack it in, shut it down, whatever my coach used to say. Let's pack it up and shut it down. Yeah,
Larry, I want to say something.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Oh, well,
you for
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for your balance to my super, super whatever. I know that I come at things very differently than many people, and I'm grateful for Larry's more whatever that word is, groundedness, or I don't know what that word is.
Boy,
Um,
Carolyn, are you feeling okay? I'm grounded, man. My root chakra's all over the place. But okay,
it's
I
a
really appreciate you because I
it's
feel
an
the same
awesome
way about you.
balance, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful for your kindness, Larry. You're very, even though you don't probably even choose to talk about it, but you are. And yes, that, and I wanted to say that. Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
thank
go
you.
on.
I love you. That makes me feel a lot better because I was thinking, man, I bet Carolyn's gonna be fucking pissed about the show. And I'm like, damn, I did my fucking best, man. I did my fucking best, as Dane Cook would say. I did my fucking best. Yeah, man, these energies are crazy. So, and there's probably been people that have tuned in that they think, what the fuck are they talking about? But, it's okay. We're from another planet.
Probably.
Yeah, we're from Norblat 9. Okay. We're from the 86753 8675309 Jenny
309,
Second Time
right?
Call Star System. Yep.
There you go. There you go.
And it's it. That's it. We're gonna, tune off, turn out, and shut down. Right there, you go,
Thank
Timothy
you,
and Larry.
everybody. I hope this
All right, and
served.
we're out. Okay, so goodbye, Facebook Live. We're gonna do this. Okay, goodbye, Facebook Live. Let's go one at a time. We're gonna say goodbye to X. Still, Carolyn, all my exes haven't moved to Texas, and I hope you'll be seeing them soon down there in the big state of Big D. Okay, we're off on. No, we're not. Yeah, we are. Well, we're off on X. I don't know why I have this thing with closing these things out. Okay, all right. Now we got Twitch still. Twitch is such a Twitch. You're like a snake. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, I think Twitch shut down on us.
Did it?
So yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll let you worry about it all night long. I like to pull a Lionel Richie all night long. Okay, so that, and we're gonna say goodbye to TikTok. Though we've gotta say goodbye for the summer. I promise you, my love, I'll send you off with a kiss and a sweater. Yeah, every day my singing hopefully will get better. Yeah. All right. Carolyn's like, what the fuck? Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye TikTok, hip hop, bit bop, and it does stop. Oh, no, it don't. Maybe it don't. Maybe it don't because I can't hit end. Oh, there we're in. We're canceled. No, and end. And now. And then end it all now moments. There we go. We're docked in there. So we're still on YouTube. It's been a real pleasure for myself, Rock and Larry Locken, yours truly, the Iceman cometh. Quote the Locken forevermore. From my lovely co-host Carolyn Lanier Roberts in the big giant state of Texas, where everything's bigger in Texas. Well, almost everything. Big Lair's not down there.
And
So
hot.
anyway, all right, Carolyn. I'll give me just 2 minutes. I'll be right back with you. And I know a real 2 minutes, not my typical two. I get you. I came in
I
at 2
got
with
it.
a 10 and woke up at 10 with a 2. Give me a break. Okay.
Are we doing
Uh,
the thing?
yeah, I'm Andy. Yeah. That okay. I'm going to send everybody off on YouTube still with a cosmic dating game kiss, Jim Lang style. Da 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 da. If you don't know who the fuck Jim Lang is, get a grip. You should. All right.
I'll see you soon.